this is such a bad idea. Oh my god. What is up, homies? My name is Felix, and I'm here back again with another video for you all today. I'm just getting over being sick right now, so if I sound a little congested, that's why. But Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you guys all had a swell year last year. But yeah, so today I'm going to be doing something that you guys have been asking me about for so long. You guys are always telling me, make a video on Phonk, make a Phonk video, do a Phonk tutorial. Well, guess what? Today's the day, so get ready to get Phonked here today. I'm about to Phonk you guys up, so get ready. So if you don't know what Phonk is, there are different subgenres, but the main one is like this Russian drift funk thing where they basically take samples from like old Memphis rap songs and then just put like a cowbell and then put a bunch of hard trap drums over it and then also make it sound like super lo-fi and distorted, and it's a really cool genre. Before actually doing the research for this video, the only time I'd really ever seen Phonk before is from this video right here from the GOAT himself. In that video he uses a much more jazzy sample, so that's the only genre that I thought existed, but the more popular one is like the Russian drift variety that has like the 808 cowbell in it. So that's what we're gonna be making here today, and that's what I'm gonna be showing you guys how to make. So yeah, make sure you guys check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with the playlist of songs I produced, my beat store, my Discord, all that stuff. Go check it out if you'd like to do so. Also, go to feezostore.com. Best merch on the planet, you already know. So yeah, now we can get into this video. Alright, so here we are inside FL Studio, and I kind of touched on it a little bit, but there's basically four main parts to these type of beats. Step one, you take a piece from an old Memphis rap song. Step two, you put some cowbell over that thing. Step three, you put some hard trap drums. And step four, you put a little distortion, some bit crusher, some saturation, whatever other kind of stuff you want on there to make it sound really lo-fi. So the way that I found the sample I'm going to use today, I literally went onto YouTube, I just typed in Memphis rap, and then I found a playlist of like a billion songs, and then I just found one that I liked, and the one I'm going to be using is this one. So yeah, it's super fire. I like it a lot. So just take a part that's good. It doesn't have to be really long. Mine's only going to be like 4 bars or something like that. So just select the part you want. Click on this little bad boy, drag it in here, and then just take your sample and stretch it so it fits within 4 bars or whatever bars that you have. And whenever I'm working with a sample, I'll just double click on it, and then I'll go to generic bleeding here. And then with the mode, you probably want it to be on auto, or if you go to like E3 or whatever, it makes it to where it doesn't sound super gross and grainy when you stretch it a whole lot. So some of these beats and some of the more melodic funk genres will be kind of slower in tempo, but a lot of the Russian drift funk type stuff has a pretty fast tempo. So we're gonna bring this up to maybe like 156 or something like that. Because of the sample that I have, if I sped it up too much more, it would sound like too fast. You can go faster if you want to, you can go way slow if you want to, it's totally up to you, but the general trend is that the beats are kind of on the faster side. So now you just want to get some really hard trap drums in here. One kit that I found is really good for this is the Suicide Boys kit off of freedrumkits.net, and I'm pretty sure Suicide Boys have done like some funk type stuff before, so that's probably why these drums sound pretty good for that. Alright, so we got a couple drum sounds here, and you guys are about to see that these beats are really, really easy to make. So we'll just put the snare in the basic spot like this, and then copy it over. And then a lot of times they'll just go with a simple 2-step hi-hat pattern. However, if I was gonna do rolls, I'd probably do them like this. I would have a triplet here, and then I would do like a long one here. No, here. Something like that, and then maybe have a couple where they go down in pitch a little bit. Just basic trap hi-hat rolls. It doesn't have to be really anything crazy. And then with the kick, you just wanna have your basic like boom, boom, ch kind of pattern. You can do whatever variations you want, but just make sure that your kick is slapping. That's the most important part. So once you got your drum pattern, you might notice that it sounds a little something like a Tay Keith type beat, and I'm gonna give you one guess where you think Tay Keith might be from. So the last part of the drums that I'm gonna do now is put in the 808, and for the 808 I actually have a little bit more of like a sub type sound. So a lot of the Memphis rap samples might actually not even have like chords or any bass line or anything, like this one. All you can really hear in the background is like that little string type sound, so there's really no like bass line to go off of, so you can kind of just use your best judgment for the 808 notes. You'll probably be able to figure it out like this. Does not sound good. That sounds a lot better because that actually matches up with that like string sound in the sample, so we're just gonna go with that note, and then inevitably it's gonna change as well, maybe down to like here or something. And then with this, you can just follow the same pattern as your kick. You don't have to, but you can. Some of these drift funk beats kind of have like certain notes that go up a little bit, and some of them have really crazy 808s, but all of them are gonna have very, very hard and distorted 808s. That is for sure. Okay, so this right here is almost the whole beat. However, we can't forget the most important part here, which is that little cowbell sound. But for your cowbell melody, there is really no structure to this. You just want to make it sound like you're drifting in a sports car kind of vibe. I don't really know. A lot of the tracks that I was listening to for reference for this video did not really have much of a structure to the cowbell, so we're just gonna do something funky and cool for this. One advice that I can give is probably don't have the cowbell being played in the 5 area. You're probably gonna want to pitch it down a little bit. So a melody like this would work. A melody like this would work. Even a melody like this would work. So just do whatever floats your boat. Make sure it kind of goes with the sample and just moves the song along. It doesn't really like distract from what you're trying to do. Alright, so this is the little melody that I came up with. It sounds like this. Alright, so the only other thing that I'm going to add to this beat is actually kind of inspired from a couple Russian post-punk songs that I've heard. Basically just going to have like a little droning kind of saw wave, and it's just going to add like a little bit of weird, like uneasy ambience. I basically just have like a sawtooth wave kind of thing here with a little bit of a low pass filter on it. It sounds like this. And it's also slightly like pulsing with this LFO here. So yeah, I'm pretty much just going to add this following the 808 notes. So yeah, now we pretty much have the beat done. However, the most important part in my opinion here is gonna be the mixing, because we want this to sound really like distorted and grungy and underground, lo-fi, whatever other words you can think of that go along with that. So the way that the sample sounds originally, just like this. You can hear that it's very gritty and lo-fi kind of sounding. That's basically what we want, but like
×5.
Honestly, the goal when you're mixing these type of beats is for them to not sound good. So my recommendation is just crank the volumes on everything and just don't really worry about being too precise with stuff. So we're going to assign everything to a mixer, and then we're probably gonna be doing the most work on the sample. So I'm gonna solo that out, and then the first thing I'm gonna put on here is a degrader slash bit crusher slash whatever you want to call it. But you're basically just gonna want something that lowers the quality and the sample rate of the sample. I am going to be using this plugin called My Crush, but you can use whatever other free alternative you want. If the sample reduction is all the way up, it basically just sounds like this. Oh my god. So we're going to turn that bad boy down just a little bit. And then the resample knob is what makes it sound really like grainy and bit crushery. So if that's all the way up, it sounds like this. So we're also going to turn that bad boy down a little bit. However, we're going to turn it down to maybe like 70% or something. Maybe a little lower. All right, so next up, I'm gonna compress it a little bit. You don't really have to do this, but I'm just going to. I just did a little bit of light compression, nothing too crazy. I'm just adding a little bit of reverb, just because I thought it sounded nice. And now the other most important part of what you do to the sample is take an EQ and then just basically make a telephone slash bandpass filter. So another thing that you might want to do is sidechain your kick to the sample, and that will sound cool. Basically, that'll just drop down the volume of the sample whenever the kick plays so that you give it a little bit more space, and it'll sound like the kick is just like slapping super hard. So basically just click on your kick track and then right click on this little arrow of the sample and then just do sidechain to this track. And now go in here and add a fruity limiter. Go to the compressor tab, go to the kick, turn this threshold down, turn this up, and then just turn this a little bit down, but like not all the way down, and then you're pretty much good to go. So now honestly, the final part to mixing these Phonk beats is to go to your master channel and just add some type of saturation plugin. It really doesn't matter what you use. I'm just gonna be using this J37 tape plugin from Waves. So this is just my preference, but I'm just gonna add another little saturation lo-fi type plugin, which is this tape mellow-fi thing. I turned the drive up quite a bit, and then I also opened up the low pass filter that was on here. That was like the little secret sauce there, because this is just pretty much a normal beat, but this right here really sets it apart, I think. And then as far as laying out your beat, really the only thing I would say is make sure you have a little intro or something where you got the sample playing and you got the cowbell playing like this. And then maybe just put like a low pass filter or something, and then probably just have all the drums drop in like this. And there's really not a whole lot you can do here as far as making the beat more interesting. A couple things that I would do is probably go in here to the hi-hats and have them cut off a little early. And then you can maybe do a part where you just have the cowbell playing, or do a part where you just have the sample playing. It's totally up to you what you do, but just make sure you do a couple little things here and there to keep the beat from getting too repetitive. So yeah, honestly, that is pretty much gonna do it for me in this video here today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I definitely enjoyed making this. This genre is actually a lot of fun to make. It's really fun to make something when you know you don't have to make it like super high quality and like pristine. You can kind of just mess around and do whatever you want, which is, I think, the fun of making Phonk. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions down in the comments below. Make sure you guys check out my Instagram and my SoundCloud down in the description below, along with the playlist of songs I produce, my beat store, my Discord, all that stuff. Go check it out if you'd like to do so. feezostore.com, you guys already know. Go check it out, and I will see you guys next time.
For these ladies and my dope on the floor, might be leaking smoke.